Hello everyone and welcome back to Transport Fever. We're going to be continuing work on our lines and stations today. I think we're going to be doing some actual transporting of goods now that our base kind of looping, intersecting kind of passenger line is operational. So you can see that the green line and orange line kind of share Reigate a little bit, and passengers can transfer to go to either Market or to maybe Shildon or Hertford or Philly from Reigate now. So that turned out pretty well, I think, for us. I don't know how profitable these lines are. Decent. You know, one of them's making about $500,000, the other one 253. Kind of depending on the size of the town. Hertford and Shildon is probably a bit larger than Market and Philly, but as things progress and grow, that will change. Other than that, let's just get started about shipping these new industries around, right? Because we're using the additional industries mod for Transport Fever, so there's a little bit more in-depth items to do here. And we have our depots, and our depots are currently empty. Now, we will be using these more to gather local goods and use that as a launching point. The width and the length of how much area these things can really grab is going to be dependent upon kind of how far away. So for example, this depot is probably going to be able to do this textile factory, the fertilizer factory, and the steel mill. Anything farther than that for vehicles, I think governs or needs a train route at that point. Same thing with this depot. This depot is probably going to be doing maybe this food, the coal, the plastics, and the goods factory. So it's gonna be interesting to get these set up and getting all the shipping in the right ways. So take a look. There's a farm here. And how many different food? Let's start with food. Food is generally a nice, good, safe thing to do here, so we'll try and start with that as much as possible. Taking a look around, it really only looks like we have one food processing plant, and this is another reason why I kind of really wanted that small map, right? Because it's going to give us an opportunity to do more specific lines into areas. So if this is the food processing plant, and if we want to get food here, we can need to either deliver livestock or milk to this, and both of those will yield food. So to get livestock, if we go around up here somewhere, I believe I saw the livestock symbol. Where is it? Livestock. Well, there's milk up here. So there's a dairy farm, it just needs grain. All right, and then over here, this is the livestock, and it needs grain as well. And our only farm that produces grain seems to be all the way up here in the hills. And the Hertford grain silo. Now, for this to produce grain, what it needs is some fertilizer. And there's fertilizer here. So you can see, much more complicated when it comes to its overall routes and systems. So that is something to note. You'll also know that this road needs to be hooked back up. Apparently, it was unhooked at some point. Let's see if we can't get this to go a little bit more evenly down here. Right? Because the sooner I can make this a tunnel, the more gradual I think I'll be able to get this to look. Ugh. All right, maybe we can't do it that way. So we'll just do that and press N until I misclick and not build the road. There we go. So we're gonna have a tunnel going underneath this railroad here, and of course that kind of creates some ugly bits with the transitions, and the way to fix those are simply to start from the tunnel entrance and delete out a few road sections, and it's gonna kind of smooth out the terrain a little bit for you. So again, the series is going to be a little bit more aesthetic oriented than necessarily playing the game with money in mind, simply because we have a bit more infinite funds on this save than the last one. So now that we have a tunnel going underneath this bridge, which is quite an intense tunnel, and look, it even has little road markings, or well, as I like to call it, a terrain glitch. It is Transport Fever after all. Okay, so we have a tunnel going that way to Rygate. Now Rygate is a shipping hub too. It's going to be the main city, so we can ship things to here. And we might do that for the fertilizer. We might ship the fertilizer here via vehicle, and then ship that up here via train or something like that. Yeah, we're just gonna need a direct train route up to there, I think. So let us see about getting a train station up here. So freight, it's gonna be an end of the line kind of deal. I'm just gonna try and align it to this road best as possible, and we'll make it I kind of make all platforms a two platform station, just because I feel like that is kind of the minimum. You know, you never know based on demand how many you're really going to need. So we got that, and it does service this farm. And look, the farm, you know, it's a different looking farm than perhaps some of the rest in the game, and it looks, you know, neat. I'm glad there's more building variety with this mod. And the best way to go, I think, might be to actually connect the line up this way. Up to there. Like go through Hertford here. So we do have some tracks started. And if I can get a good enough angle, that can kind of keep the speed up a bit. Ideally. Might be able to just go straight up this mountainside. Pass. Hopefully making some money. Now Hertford doesn't have a freight station, at least not yet. It might end up getting one as the town grows, but for now we'll just use this connector. That way it can go any way. And maybe eventually we'll get another line kind of connecting up to that station as well. I'm trying the best I can to follow the natural terrain of things. It's just convenient that it's right next to this hill, because that's kind of a good thing to follow. So we'll go this way a bit, and I'll use N. Try and bring down the middle of that track, and now we need to swing it around this hillside. And really, if I wanted to, I could just do that. And we might just build a little tunnel here. That could look nice. So let's just do that. We'll have a little roadside tunnel coming along the road, the countryside road. So just like that. Alright, and we'll flatten out some of this terrain, especially by this little road here. Gets a little lumpy. Alright. So that goes straight up to this farm, which is good. And let's add a switch so it can go to, you know, either side if it needs to. And then we will even, you know, I want this to be usable for other things as well. So I'm gonna put a bit of a depot on here. The only problem is, how do I get this to connect up smoothly? Boy, that's that right? Okay. Hold on. I think going from lower track to upper track and then straight from there out is kind of the best way to do these. So I'm just gonna do this. Yep. And we'll just stick a little train shed on here. Just like that. Okay. So we have a shed. We have a new little hillside route, which will come straight through Hertford, like going really fast. Go. Well, we'll see. It's all downhill there, so they better be braking really well. So, okay, so we're gonna use vehicles, bring fertilizers to here, and then bring that via train back up to Hertford. Only problem is, this train, when it comes down here, it doesn't have a way to really turn around, right? So, the only way for it to get back would be to essentially stop here, get turned around, and go back the other way. I don't like it when trains do that in this game. It looks weird to watch the train kind of just teleport, in a sense. So what I'm gonna do is make a turnaround to get back on this line. So let's do that. And it's going to be a little difficult to fit this in there, but I think we can do it. So we're going to bring it out to about there, and then do our hard turn. And hard turn back towards. And try our best to get this to go back onto here, as close as possible to the entry point. All right. And then do something like that. It's quite the messy sort of interchange, but to me it's kind of necessary to have every now and then, just a nice little turnaround area for a single train to use. And so the way you would use this is, as you're going out this way, you can simply hop on it, turn around, and you can come back the other direction, and then essentially choose either way through this freight yard to get back going the opposite direction. I think that'll work. Let's go ahead and set up a new line. So this is the fertilizer farm line. All right, and this is gonna be, let's just color it, well, fertilizer's kind of poop, so we'll color it poop brown. All right, and it's gonna pick up here and take it over to there. And it's gonna wait for full load. Actually, nah. I don't think it will have to. But now you can see, if we open up this line, I was gonna say that you could see that the line would work, but it's not. Okay, let's first off, I think we need some signals here, or else it's not going to really think it will work. So we'll get some signals in through there, and then we'll get a signal here, here, and here as it kind of merges back. All right, and signal here and signal here. And so this one we're gonna mark as a one-way, this one as a one-way. So why is that not working then? Okay, this train needs some more signals. Yeah, we're kind of running into signaling problems at this point. There we go. Which is fairly normal. Or maybe it is working, but yeah. So the color was so blend into the track that it didn't really make sense. You couldn't really see it. So I can see it now. So we'll go ahead and do this and this. There we go. And this is a one-way, and this is a one-way. So that track looks like it's working now. And is it going through the loop? If I get close enough. Is it? What is it doing? So it's wanting to just stop and turn around. It's doing the one thing I didn't want it to do. I suppose that's fine. I can't complain too much about that. Alright. So in the meantime, let's get some vehicles going. From this area over. Our first set of trucks. That's good. You also notice that we have some nice some different trucks than we did on the last map, because we are in a different age a little bit, and for some reason I have like age turned off, so I'm seeing everything at this point. So there's the Studebaker, which goes 60 kilometers, but I like this open wagon version. I think that's pretty cool. But we might have to find one that can actually carry that one resource, right? Because that's going to be the thing to do. So the Opel Blitz might be the only one to do it. So this is going to be fertilizer. And we're going to buy. And how many do you think we need to supply that whole farm with fertilizer? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just, you know, conservative guess on that one. We'll now set up the... What are these lines? Line 1 and line 2. Huh. They're like... They don't have anything on it, so I don't know why I made them. Okay. Cool. We're going to add a new line. This is going to be the Rygate Fertilizer Company. So let's do that. So Rygate Fertilizer Company. Cool. All right. And we're going to change the color of this, again, to match kind of the same brown. Because it's the same kind of line here. And the Rygate Fertilizer Company is going to... You're going to go ahead and pick up here. You're just going to drop it off there. You're going to unload only. And you're going to wait for full load. Good. Alright, so that means we can go ahead and set line to all of these guys to the fertilizer company. So all the vehicles are going to come out now. And essentially wait for their cargo to be working. And then we, on the other hand, I guess I'll use this depot, kind of our larger one. We'll go ahead and buy our train. So, locomotives. We've been using the class 1042 for passengers. This one we're going to use a diesel. We're going to use the NOHAB AA16. And wagons. Now, what can carry fertilizer is the question. You would think fertilizer is a tank But it looks like it's gonna be a boxcar. Alright, so make this fertilizer. We're gonna buy pretty much all that we can here. Alright, set line all. Fertilizer farm line. So this is our new train coming out. You can hear the horn. Got some pretty large box cars on there. We can check our details. Max speed is 120, which is the max speed of the engine. These box cars can go 160, but we don't have any high-speed lines just yet, or anything like that. We can change the color. Let's try. We'll do this light color. That sandy color on there. I wish you could try to. I wish I could change the color of the box cars and the train separately. That would be cool. So it's gonna pick up speed, and off it goes to go gather those materials. We're producing anything yet here? I don't think so. Let's get them circling through, maybe because they haven't hit this station yet. Watch this guy come in real quick. We have people on the train tracks, please. Vacate the... Oh my god, that guy just got drilled. Poor guy. Yeah, I just don't like how that thing's turning around. Using line yet? No. Sometimes it can take a while for the line to realize that it can be in use. Might take a trip or two. But eventually you'll get up there, and that's okay. I think then, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and insert a small time lapse as we either detail out some of this area or add some trees to certain sections. We need to do some more road work around Rygate so that it has a good chance for expansion and can keep the road networks at least somewhat organized around these rail lines. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so after that little bit of speed build, we'll go over everything in just a second. We are watching our first animal be delivered to the food processing plant. So we made some decent progress, I think, this episode in getting a production kind of sealed away. Now, granted, oh, we have a train coming by right now. Woo, there it goes. We aren't delivering any food just yet. I want to try and probably, at the end of this episode, just kind of double up how many trains are running so that we can get production up. And then we'll start trying to decide on how we want to ship this food out. We're not grabbing any milk yet, so that could be something for next episode, as we basically have grain set up. I just don't know how we want to get the grain up there currently, just because we don't have any way to get to this corner of the map. It's kind of interesting that I didn't build a train line up here, so we might have to do all road vehicles up here, or if you guys want in the comments down below, we can do a train. But in the meantime, let us go to our train depot, because I want to get another fertilizer train and another grain train going on this line. So let's go ahead and grab our locomotive here. Now this diesel train is doing us pretty well, I think. So we got that. Let's get our wagons for the fertilizers. So 1, 2, all the way up to basically 159. Set line all. This is going to be the fertilizer farm line, I believe. So off it goes, and we'll color it in just a sec. Oh wait, does it auto color it based on? I think it auto colors it. Okay, cool. I think I could be wrong there. So let's buy another one. So this one is going to be our wagons with gondolas, and this is going to be carrying grain. We can take that up to 155. Set line all, and this is the grain depot line. So I'm going to take a look at this. Now I color this one yellow. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this color, but color coordinating them I think is important. Now we're at ×3 speed, so this isn't necessarily how fast these trains really go through here. We're more or less just speeding this up so you guys can kind of see the current route as it is. I love that we're adding trees too. These trees are super important as we start flying through a lot of these train yards to just add that scenery detail that you might expect. You know, there's a lot of greenery in the world, and it's hard to try and capture a lot of that without actually putting it in there. Because all these planes and stuff, yeah, there are planes, but I would say most train lines go through forests and things like that. So this one's just heading straight on over this direction, and maybe we'll just follow it all the way up to the farm so you guys can see that full little route, and hopefully this will increase the production and the need for fertilizer and grain production, and then that'll increase our animal production, which will hopefully increase our food production. So here it is. This one, let's just say, dropped off some grain, and it's gonna go ahead and head back up. Now I don't know if you guys prefer to have this view or the track view. I think we'll do track view, just so you guys can kind of see kind of what the conductor's seeing. Now granted, unlike Machinki, you know, you're not gonna see it from the cab. I think that's kind of missing from this game a decent amount. But with that, I don't want to say anything else. Thank you guys so much for watching on this video. Leave a comment down below on what you guys think so far. Hit that like button for more Transport Fever, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.